Oh, wait, you have something there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so welcome. We have some newbies.
I like how you wave.
Sorry.
I know this is voice only, but I'm going to wave.
I'm weird.
Okay, so yeah, this is a Pride Countdown podcast. Pride
Woo!
is what, like 2 or 3 weeks away, I think? No, like 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking San Francisco Pride because that's on the 23rd.
My friend went to San Francisco Pride. She said she didn't like it as much.
Well,
I've never been.
I was like, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
We should go to Long Beach
We're
Pride. Long Beach Pride is turned.
I do.
Aren't you going to San Diego Pride again, too?
Yeah.
Mm.
I go
wanna
every
to
year.
all of them.
Oh,
I used to volunteer every year and also go. So
I'm so down.
now that I moved, it's a little harder. But
Wait, when
I
is
still like to
Long
give
Beach
back.
Pride?
I don't know.
It's right before or after LA Pride.
Well, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
It's right before or after,
Nice.
maybe in the middle.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to like multiple. That would be
Yeah.
fun.
You did
You're
that
going
last
to LA,
year.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're all gonna do
we
this.
all-
Yeah,
we're
doing
We're all
it.
gonna
Yeah,
go to
yeah,
LA
sure.
Pride. Catch
We're
us
all
at LA
doing
Pride.
it.
I think that should be like a vlog too, which would be hilarious.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
But yeah, so we're talking about all things Pride, and we're gonna start off with the first. We're not gonna go in order by these either. I'm
Are
gonna
we
try
supposed
to
to
mix it up.
introduce ourselves?
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So
I always
everyone-
forget this.
So we're anonymous.
Yeah, everyone. Okay, introduce
AA meeting.
yourselves, and yeah.
What's up? My name is Aaron. I work with Daryl and Sicarra and Amber. Am I supposed to say something like a fun fact?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, like, I don't
It's
know.
your-
Or, like, what do we
Yes.
identify
So your
as or
name
something
and
like
one
that?
fun fact.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Aaron. Fun fact. When I was like in my formative years in like high school and like before that, I used to play World of Warcraft a lot. And that's actually like where I first like started talking to like somebody about like sexuality and stuff. Cause like I made like good friends like in World of Warcraft. Like we would literally meet up like all the time, like online. Like I'd be like, oh, I gotta go home. Like I can't hang out with you guys
log
anymore.
on.
I gotta log on. Like they're waiting for me at 8. Like and I would go and they were like there was like this old couple. They were like married. They were like they had to be like in their 30s and like they would like teach me stuff and like take me around the game and stuff. But like we would like talk all the time about like everything and it kind of like helped me like just like come to terms with like a lot of different things that I couldn't even like put into words at that time because I was so young.
Dope.
I don't know. Am I going next? Oh, I was looking at Sicarra like, hi, I'm Amber. Fun fact. I hate mangoes. That's
Mangoes
it.
are gross.
I fucking
They're-
hate it.
They're trash.
I'm like, I feel like I'm the only like one of the few Mexicans that
Yeah.
are like, I hate mangoes. They're disgusting.
They're
There's
pretty
like,
bad.
they're just they have a weird consistency to them, and like I've tried eating different kinds of mangoes, and I like literally like it's like a gag reflex. Like I immediately spit it out. Like I
That's
don't
gross.
even and, like I'm like
That's
So like we're not friends anymore. Now that
you've known this about me.
You don't like
Good.
mangoes.
I was like, I
You
fucking,
can't be
I hate
friends.
mangoes.
Yeah.
I hate mangoes. I hate pickles. And like,
Pickles.
I
Amazing.
fucking hate
Okay.
Pickles are okay.
You're
I
done.
would never just.
The only thing that I'm okay with that are
But
pickled are
on stuff.
jalapenos.
Oh,
they're
pickled hop. No,
But
they're
we're
like
talking about
pickles. though,
pickles.
like
Pickles are-
cucumbers that are
So
pickled.
you won't put a
No.
pickle on a burger?
yeah,
Or
like
No.
sliced
by
pickles.
itself?
No.
We're,
No.
I'm rich enough to have eaten like hot pickles from like straight out of
Oh,
the
there's a
dollar
squirrel.
store.
Oh my god, close the door. What if it comes inside?
Oh my
No,
god.
close the door.
It's not gonna come in. It's really not.
No, it like might jump over. Is
I
he
highly doubt. Squirrels are afraid of humans.
Yeah.
They're not gonna come in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's-
But there was one
Except for
time
the
when I was
squirrels that
with
see
a
them.
friend here, and there was a raccoon that was right
Nowhere.
there.
Oh no!
For that, I definitely hopped up and closed the door.
Never mind.
I've had a possum run in my house before.
Oh, no, no.
Possums are very
My mom
docile.
was using the restroom, and I guess like our window, there was a small window in the bathroom, and there was no screen on it. So a possum had somehow got in.
Oh,
And she didn't even notice it until she saw a pair of red eyes. And, like, it was, like,
Oh.
at night, too. And all we heard was, like, screaming. My mom running out of the bathroom with her pants up. Like, what the Yeah. And my Theo has a broom, and he's trying to, like, hit the possum out.
no.
I seen the old
Crazy.
place that I used to live at had a family of possums living under the house, and like I would just leave them alone, and like my cat would want to play with it, and it was before I knew that possums can't get rabies.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, no, Watson, it's either gonna eat you or give you rabies. But like they were really friendly. Like
I would never
That's
play
weird.
with
Watson would like
no.
he would put his paw out and like almost try to pet it, and I was like, go the fuck inside because they still look scary.
Yeah. No, they're not cute.
Yeah.
Sorry, canceled.
Oh, you too.
They know me already. Sicarra.
I was like, well, just they know me. This is my channel. Sorry.
Okay. Hey guys. My name is Sicarra. I'm friends with everybody here. I hope so.
We're not friends, actually. Apparently,
We don't
we're
really
not.
like her.
No, they didn't even want to invite me.
She just unfriended me for not liking mangoes.
Yeah, so I also have a podcast. You guys can follow me on Insta, Black Brown
Shameless
Bruja.
plug.
Definitely.
I was like, actually, I got a podcast.
Shameless plug, yes. Instagram, Black Brown Bruja. The link for my SoundCloud is there, so check me out. But fun fact, let's see. I don't know. Maybe I could just say my chart or something. Gemini, Sun, Libra, Moon, Pisces, Rising.
Hey.
That says a lot about your personality.
Mm-hmm, it does, actually.
Cool. Thanks for having
Get
me.
into the zodiac more,
Okay.
but okay. So first thing, since this is a Pride podcast, let's go with favorite Pride memory. I'll start. I would say my favorite would be probably my first, and I think that was in college, which is like I should have been like went to one before that, but
Right.
so I was going to school like 5 hours from Chicago, so me and my friend road trip to Chicago, stayed like downtown with our other friend. And this was like a really record breaking Pride because there were like I think like up to 1 million people at Pride that year
This
in
is in
Boys
Chicago?
Town. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
it was
a
like
lot.
hella people. It was so much fun. Like it was my first time like going out there like drunk with my friends, like just having fun, watching everybody just be like super proud, having fun. So that's probably my favorite one. I would say it's like my favorite memory.
Nice.
I guess I'll go. My favorite Pride memory is actually my first one too. I went I had to be like 18 or 19. And this is like kind of around the time where like I was like still kind of like unsure about like whatever was like I was experiencing, and I didn't have any friends. I hadn't told anyone. So I had no one to go with. I had no one to go with. Like, I really wanted to fucking go. I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna go. Like, I'm gonna have a good time. So I had my mom like drop me off at my friend's house, who like lived close to Pride. And, like, my friend had no idea I was even coming over there. Like, I didn't even go in the house. Like, I just like went over to his house. My mom drove away. Like, I like stood by the door like I was about to go in, and my mom drove away, and I just walked my ass to Pride. Like,
Nice.
I was like, fuck that, I'm going. And I got there, and I was just wandering around for like a couple hours, like, and it was just like, it was like really boring. Like, I was like just walking around, just like observing, kind of be like an outsider looking in. And then finally, like, these like old like queens like saw me, and they were like, little boy, like, what are you doing over here? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And we just like long story short, we just started talking, and like they were just like, oh, you're coming with us, baby.
Aww.
And they started taking me around. They took me to like every bar. They were like buying me drinks. I wasn't even 21 yet. They were buying me drinks, just showing me around and just showing me a really good time. Like, they weren't even. It wasn't sexual. What they weren't like trying to do. They just like saw me and saw that I like looked like I looked lost. Like I needed like someone to like take me under their wing, and like they totally did that and like guided me around. It was awesome. One of them was in drag, so that was really interesting because all eyes were on us. Like everywhere we went, like we just walk in, they'd be like, okay,
Like, yes, they're my
this is an
friends.
interesting group of people.
I don't really know if I necessarily have like a favorite Pride memory, but like just some, things that stick out in my head. My first Pride, also, I was 21 when I finally came out. Pretty late bloomer, I guess. But I ended up walking in the parade with the center, which is like the Pride Center in San Diego. So I used to go there for like, women of color 20-something discussion groups, blah blah blah. I was always looking for ways to like get involved and meet other people like similar to you. But that was a really empowering like first Pride. Walking in the parade, I cried. Like, I got to see all different kinds of people on the spectrum. And I also think that was the year, or maybe the year after, that like, I guess Don't Ask, Don't Tell was kind of repealed. So it was a really big deal. Yeah. There was a bunch of people in uniform there with their partners, and it was really great. and I was with a good group of people, so I like that.
I feel like this one's gonna have a heavy political tinge to it too.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be a lot of that.
It's definitely part of Pride. I think the biggest thing for me is a lot of people forget, they're into the party and all that, and it's become very commercialized, and there's like a lot of, it's like more of a festival, but people forget about how much it took to fight.
Yeah.
And like how much people are still fighting. So I think Pride doesn't really just end with the party for me. It's like more about the
they also
service
erased
and all
the
that.
black trans people who started it. Really.
Right. So it's really important to be visible, and I like that those memories are something I'm always gonna have.
Mine was actually last year. So it was like,
that was a good friend.
well, no, and it's just because I had officially come out last year, so it's still fairly new. Because for years I would tell my friends growing up oh, I think I like girls, but I also like boys. And then if I were to date a girl, I remember my best friend at the time would be like, okay, so you're gay right now. And I'm like, well,
that's not how it works.
I was 16. I was like, well, I guess, but I still like guys too. And he was like, well, which one are you? It was either gay or straight, and there was no mid. So I was, and I think that's biphobia, a little bit of that. And then last year I especially after I moved back out, last year I stopped caring if I were to hold hands or make out with a girl in public if somebody I would know would see me, because I remember I would just keep it hidden, or I would only tell my close group of friends. I remember Sicarra's party years ago. Sicarra was only the few people that would know our close group circle in college, because I moved away, and I was like, okay, if my parents find out I'm already moved away, it's fine, because I moved away. But my favorite one was Pride last year, because it was when I was my parents still don't know if they listen to this podcast. Hey, mom and dad.
Coming up. Yay!
It's okay. My parents don't know either.
Really? You mentioned it also.
My mom knows. My dad, I probably could never tell him.
Yeah, no, my sister. When I told my sister was like, well, one in every 5 family members is either gay or queer, so we figured it was you because you're the weird one. And I was like, really?
That's funny.
Awesome.
About 5 out of 5 people. I
was okay, that's great. And it was really chill coming out to my sister, because I can talk to her about liking girls, and she's she doesn't give me she reacts the same if I tell her something about a guy, which is really great, because she's you like who you like why am I gonna judge you? But last year was amazing, because I'm just it was when I was finally starting to embrace who I am and not question it anymore, just because people would kind of force their ideals, you're confused, including my best friends, including people who had their own religious beliefs and would kind of state yeah, you're still sinning, but I love you. And it's that still hurts. And last year was when I was finally starting to embrace it. But my favorite moment from last year was what was that guy from BuzzFeed? What's his name?
Oh my god, Keith Haversberger?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Aaron was
you didn't...
Aaron didn't even finish his set. This is what he said. He was like, oh my god, you're Keith's brother. He couldn't say his last name. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I look at him and I was like, oh, you're the dude from Try Guys, the dude from BuzzFeed. And I had him try on my kitty glasses, my circle glasses with the kitty thingies, the pointy things. Out. I had him try it on, and I still have the picture.
That
was the best moment, because I was I was starstruck. Yeah, you were starstruck. I was
well, because it was so spontaneous. We were just standing there, and we were just talking, having a normal conversation, and then I mind you, just to preface this by saying I have this weird thing for nerdy white guys. Okay, boom, got that out of the way. So I had been watching him all this time. I'm oh my god, he's really cute. I like him. And as I'm standing there, we're having a conversation, waiting for the porta potty, and I just look over to having to look over, and we literally make eye contact, and he sees me notice him,
mimics
and
Aaron
he was and I pointed at me, put it back at me, and I was and he comes right up to us, was oh my god, can we take a picture? And he was oh yeah, dude, we can take a picture, and he was so cool, and he was so exactly as
and he posed for the camera when he tried on my glasses. I was like, can you just try on my glasses? And then afterwards I was like, did he give it back? But there was a picture
he did
of me where he did, because there's there's a picture of me wearing those glasses.
That's how drunk Amber was.
No, that was the day after. I left like 2 hours in, but that was the best.
I held her hair. That's great.
Yeah, I
Real
not.
friends.
Yeah, I threw up in the
all
middle of
need
the
that.
street. It was bad, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
sorry, I kept talking.
No, we're good. So okay, next. So we just did perfect. I'm gonna try to go fun and then deep so that we can balance it all out. So since we talked about like families and stuff like that, family acceptance, stories or like how you feel about, telling your family and stuff like that. I'll start really quick. I like to listen more. Me telling my family was super. I don't even think I told my family. I think when I was in high school, I ordered like a whole bunch of books about like being gay, and not thinking that my parents would get it and open it, and they opened it and they're like, "What's this?" Like,
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. I'm just
it is funny because
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally thought they would open it and they did. So yeah, they were just like, if you have anything to tell us, it's all good, you're our son, da da da. Thankfully, I had that experience. I know, like, it's really hard for us to all be able to have, like, that experience. Some people have experience where they don't want to tell their parents for different reasons. So, yeah, that's my story as far as, like, coming out, I guess. And then, like, friends, I was always comfortable telling friends. Because I didn't really care, and because they were my friends, so, yeah.
Yeah, I actually recently had a podcast episode with my brother called "Oh Yeah, We're Gay."
That was
I
it
know,
was
I
a
love
great
it.
episode.
Yeah.
So it was really
They're
great.
at Tatsu Ramen, which is an amazing
I-
shameless plug.
Yeah. But Tatsu, I'm gonna just have to
Get
say,
sponsored.
if you're listening, I retweet you guys all the time. Can you throw me a free T-shirt, please? Thank you.
You're really speaking to the mic, like, hey
Anyway,
guys.
they need to hear. But yeah, so my, I guess, what is it, like coming out story
Or just, like,
Family
your family
acceptance.
accepts, how your family accepts.
Yeah, my brother and I, we're both gay. He's 1 year younger than me, so 2 out of the 5, of our tribe are gay.
Nice.
So he came out in high school, actually, and I remember kind of hearing that conversation. I was in the hallway, like, folding towels and putting them away, and my mom's door was cracked. So I just saw my brother standing there, like, he's really emotional, had his little fist balled up, and he was just kind of, like, yelling at my mom and just telling her, like, like, this is who I am, like, he's really standing his ground. They're both Leos, by the way. And so she was just like, how do you even know that's who you are? It's just the people you hang around. And, we also had an uncle who was closer in age, so he's about 6 years older than me. He's kind of like older brother. But he was, like, gay, and I always knew, ever since I was a kid, I think I always knew, like, what gay was, and I gravitated towards people. I was like, whoa, like, this is kind of, like, similar or something, but I didn't know that there was a word for it or what it was, or, that it was okay. Yeah. So, after hearing his experience, I just kind of stayed in the closet until I was, like, 21. I was just like, I don't want to go through this. And also, I was kind of unsure about, like, was I bi, like, is this just a phase, or am I curious? So I didn't want to really express that until I knew. But then, when I was 21, I was kind of like, you know what? I've done this, and I think I've done a lot of thinking about this, and I'm going to talk to my mom. So similarly, I went and I spoke to my biological dad at the time. So I guess technically he's the first, like, family member besides a cousin or something, or my brother who already knew, that I told. And it was kind of a dry run or a test run for my mom, because I was like, I care more about what she thinks. But I really think family acceptance was something I was very afraid of, that I wasn't going to be accepted. But it was kind of like, okay, we still love you. I think it was more so the pressure that I thought, like, everything's going to change if I say this. This is going to be, like, a whole new life. Like, what if it's hard? What if people judge me? And it was all of those thoughts. It wasn't necessarily anyone in my family saying, like, oh, you can't be this, don't do that. Like, my brother did it, and so what? He's still my mom's son, and she loves him. So it's all good now, but I'm really happy or fortunate that, like, I had the I guess coming out that I had too. So because a lot of friends, I've worked with people who had really bad experiences, or they're kicked out disown all that stuff. So that hurts me to hear that, but yeah. It's me.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
we already know a little bit about
that. So, I mean, I guess just to start at the beginning, this might surprise you guys, but maybe it won't. I actually just, told, most of the people in my life, as I started working at Uber. So
family, you mean? Or?
Family, friends, whoever, pretty much anyone in my life. Okay. I mean, I pretty much identify as, I guess, queer, sexually fluid.
Okay.
I don't want to say bi because that sounds cliche. I think that I'm pansexual, if anything. I think that I can find, if I find you attractive, then it doesn't matter what your gender is. It just isn't relevant to me. And I've dated both sides of the spectrum. But that was before I told anybody. I had always known, just because I'm an intuitive person who kind of introspects all the time, which is sort of to my detriment to some extent. A little bit of neuroticism happens when you think too much and you don't let a lot of it out. You don't or you kind of just bottle up and you just turn into this little ticking time bomb. And that's literally what happened to me. And honestly, coming and working at Uber was the best thing to happen to me because I ended up meeting Gabe. Shout out Gabe.
I love him so much.
Gabe I met Gabe, so I was already at a point when I got to Uber that I was ready to for something different. I was already ready. So it was timing plus meeting
certain people.
Meeting somebody who could help me come to terms with it. And I remember me and Gabe actually, after a happy hour, we were all hanging out with Connor Gandolfo, actually, and we were all hanging out after work at, in the office, and it was, 4 a.m., and we were literally just hanging out by our desks, drinking, and, the whole time, the reason we were in the office for so long is because me and Gabe were just going back and forth about, what it would be like if I came out, if I started telling people, and he's why haven't you told these people, well, this person's really close to you, they probably would be okay with it, tell that person first, and, it was literally just, us, mapping out, how I was gonna do this, and, after I left that conversation, I was you're right, I'm not gonna tell everybody, fuck that, I don't care, and, really, the thing that kind of, got me, or that he said that kind of got me was, if you don't really tell anybody, you're never gonna have a relationship, if you want to have a relationship that, it's totally, unfair to that person, you're gonna have to, hide it, and you're never gonna be comfortable, and it's never gonna be real.
It'll be hurtful to you internally.
Yeah, and I was I've already been feeling that, because there's been plenty of, this is a question for another time, but there's been plenty of people who have come along where it's been well, the reason that this didn't work out is because neither of us are being true. And so on my 26th birthday, which happened shortly thereafter, all my friends came and I got really drunk and I just started fucking being yo, by the way, I'm a little gay. And they were all and to my not surprise, I guess, most of my friends were dude, I know.
That's exactly how my cousins are bitch, you already knew.
Yeah,
they're duh, have you told mom yet? What the fuck?
we've literally just been waiting for you to tell us this whole time. And I'm damn, I thought I was hiding it. Well, but yeah, no, it was it was actually really liberating, and now you see me in the office, I don't give a flying fuck, and I think it's better that way because I think that my personality is kind of an ambassador, and so I think that now that I'm able to come to terms with certain things,
I make other. You guys.
I know,
you guys are getting me so emotional.
I know right now I'm holding back.
I have chills. It's all relatable.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's really important to, like you said, Gabe, and people like that, just having someone to hold space for you and let you talk.
Yeah.
Because we spend all of our lives in our head, and I similarly, mental health issues, that's a whole nother
another podcast.
Another podcast.
It's very intersectional here in this community. Yeah. But it's very important because sometimes we need to voice those things so we can hear ourselves and understand that maybe some of it's not true, the narrative that we've had so long. Yeah. So I'm really happy for you. And thanks for sharing that.
But just to answer the question in finality, there hasn't been a lot of family acceptance. My cousins are all very queer, So they've accepted it. Like we're great.
Yeah,
keep it in the like. But in terms of like my dad, so I told once a family reunion, I told my loudmouth cousin because one, that's my road dog, but also because I know she's loud, and I knew that if I told her, she was gonna tell everybody else. So I was like, I'm gonna just warm these motherfuckers up. Like, I'm gonna tell your ass. I'm gonna be like, hey, this stays between us, okay? And I know you're gonna go tell everybody else. And so by the time I come around and tell them, I'm like, I know you already heard. So there's gonna be like, you might as well get used to it. But like, I didn't realize how fast the turnaround was gonna be on that. And I'm pretty sure she told my dad that night. And so he had this whole freak out, and he was like, fuck faggots, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was going off.
Oh, my
God. And
God.
I was just like, he wasn't directing it at me, but he was just saying it. And, like, it was like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know, where did that energy come from? And so at that moment, I was like, you know what? I don't want to have to be my dad's ass, so I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I already got the reaction, so
I was like,
you're
just gonna see me with a boy one day, and like I'm gonna be like, this is my roommate, but you're gonna know that we've been roommates for too long.
The 20 years later, you're still my roommate.
This is my roommate for 20 years ago. You remember him?
So shout outs to your cousin. You should send her the link to this podcast.
I know, I probably will. Adrian, shout out to you, Adrian, because I know your ass was gonna say something.
Well, I guess mine, I was, like, confused for years. And the more that I think that, like, oh, my God, I, like, came out too late. Like, I just turned 23, so, and, like, you just came out, too, and you're, like, older than me. So I'm like, wait. But I remember telling, I think the first person that I really told, like, I think I like girls was my childhood best friend at the time, Sergio. I had told him, and he was, like, very accepting. He was like... He's like, even if you're confused or if you find out that you do like boys or if you want to experience, he's like, I don't care. Like, you're my best friend. I don't care. Which was, like, amazing. I was like, that was and after him, I was like, okay, awesome. Like, relief.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, in, like, my freshman year of high school when I was, like, starting to, like, think I did. And, like, I was in theater, and you would think, like, in theater, people would be more open. But, like, I would say, like, I think I like girls. Like, I've, like, made out with a couple, and, like, I think it's more. I think it is. And I remember, like, one girl being like, well, do you like girls or do you like boys? And I was like, I feel like, and by the way, I identify as, like, queer as well, /pan.
Yeah.
I've only dated men and women. However, I'm open to all genders. And same thing as Aaron, like, if I think that you're cute and, like, we vibe well, then I literally do not care. Like, as long as that. Like, but I remember telling a couple people and then be like, you're confused. Like, you're confused. And me being like, oh, I guess the fuck, I'm confused. And then I started to date a girl, and, like, actually have feelings for her, and she fucking broke my heart when I was, like, 17. I was like, oh, bitch. Oh, my God. And, like, it actually...
like, instead of guys.
Yeah, like, and it actually happened. I was like, no, I think I like girls because if I was just experimenting, this wouldn't have hurt as much as it did. So, like, kudos to her for, like, doing that because it had me realize, like, there's no hard feelings at all because it actually had me realize, no, I like girls. And then I tried being, like, really, like, I came out to the rest of my friends. Sergio, still, like, if you hear this, I still love you to death. Thank you so much for being so accepting. He literally the reason why I was starting to, like, come out of my shell but still be in the closet. I remember trying to come out to my mom in high school, just starting a conversation with her, like, Mom, what would you do if I like girls? And my mom immediately was like, no. Like, other people are born gay, but, you know, my daughter is not gay. And I was like, well, not that I'm gay, but what if I like girls as well? And she goes, no. And, like, I had a elementary school, like, teacher that's gay. And I was like, what about him? He has a husband and you accept him. And she was like, well, he was born gay, but, like, I know that you're not born gay. And I would feel like I failed you as a mother if you told me that. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to tell her. Yeah. Never mind. So I, like, just kept it in. And then, like, I just, like, the more that I lived with my family, the more I remember I had a really big crush on this one girl. And, like, I remember crying because, like, she wanted to have a relationship with me. And, like, she legitimately wanted to be my girlfriend. But I was, like, still my brother and my nephew are, like, a year younger than me. And me being like, I can't be with you because, like, they don't know. And I don't know how they're going to react. And I remember crying. And I was like, fuck, like, this really sucks. And it wasn't until college when I moved out where I was like, I'm gonna start dating girls because I live in the valley. So if they find out, like, I'm all the fucking way over there. But, like, when I, like, stopped caring officially, which was last year, and I finally told my sister Carmen. Carmen, like, best reaction ever, which was, oh, okay. She was like, and it was that. It was just like, yeah, like, every 1 in 5 family members is, like, queer or gay. We figured it would be you, like, because you're the weird one. And I was like, okay. Like, this was easy. Like, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And she, like, just reacted nonchalantly. And my younger brother doesn't know, but I feel like he has an idea because they constantly make, like, gay jokes directed at me. Like, oh, that looks like, because they call me by my first name, Tiffany. Like, oh, looks like Tiffany's gay, because she's probably gay. And I'm just like, don't deny it. And I'm like, that's kind of not true.
That's how it was with my friends for a long
and he
time.
was like,
they would make gay jokes, and I'd be like,
So, like, my brother, I feel like he has an idea. I know that he would be accepting, just because he had told me how, one of his best friends from, like, middle school had came out as gay in high school. And before, he would make very, very, like, hurtful, homophobic... But yeah, I guess, well, officially the only person that really, really knows is I have 4 siblings, and it's my second oldest sister, which is a really great start. And, like, I know eventually I'm gonna have to tell my entire family, which I'm still super, super nervous about, because I'm like, fuck. Like, how my dad, I feel like, is gonna react super chill. I have a cousin in Mexico who's gay as well, and who's kind of, I was like, oh my god, because there's nobody in my family that's like, I don't have family members that are gay. Like, everybody's just like, or if they are, they're probably in the closet. But my cousin in Mexico is the only one that is, and he lives with his partner. So, like, I'm just, like, super, like, that's the connection I have and to family that is. And I know he's very accepting as well, of course. Juan Luis, if you're listening to this, I love you. Thank you. But it's, yeah, my sister knows, and she was very accepting. I know eventually I'm going to have to tell my mom and my dad. I'm just, like, super scared of, like, the reaction. So I'm like, fuck, like, because my mom already, I know, like, my mom already reacted, like, a way I wasn't expecting, and, like, oh my god.
Well, I told myself that if I ever, like, find somebody, like, that it's, like, undeniable, like, I'm in love with this person, like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, at that point, like, I'm gonna have to, like, we're just gonna have to have that talk. Because, like, I'm not going to lose love for your comfort. Yeah. So if that happens, like, like, wherever 1, you are, Mr. Love out there, if you're out there, if that happens, if I do fall in love with that person, like, mom and dad.
Yeah. You're going to have to accept it. Yeah. I feel like, me personally, like, and this is something my friend TC had told me. He's like, even if you end up with the guy, he's like, you need to stay true to yourself. Like, he's like, I think you should still tell them, because it's like you're finding an excuse to not tell them. Yeah. And, like, which I completely agree with, because at first I was, like, combative. I was like, no, well, like, I'm not comfortable with that. But then I was like, I understand, though, like, because he's like, that attraction is still there. And he's like, I personally think you still should. And he's like, go about it at your own pace, but I think that you still should, no matter what, just because it's like you need to be true to yourself. So that's why I'm like, I know I will eventually, eventually I definitely will tell my entire family, and they're going to react however they're going to react. But it was a great start coming out to my sister, and her literally just being like, okay, like, don't give a shit. Like, I'll talk to her over the phone, like, oh my god, like, now I can talk to her about, because I'll talk to her about guys that I think are cute, and now I can talk to her about girls and stuff. I'm like, oh, this girl that I went on a date with, like,
oh
I'll
my
send
god,
her a
that
picture.
is the best part about coming out.
Yeah, and my sister's like, oh, she's pretty. And my fucking sister, I think, like, she's really great with feedback too. She'd be like, oh, she's cute, or like, oh, you like her, or like, oh, you like him. And she actually gives me feedback and doesn't, like, treat me differently, doesn't, like, it's really great. So it gives me hope to tell my other siblings.
It's lit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, life after coming out, it's very
so
hard.
It's that's why I'm on Twitter. I was like, fuck it. Yeah,
like once you admit a certain truth,
like, I know I'm gonna lose friendships too, especially since, like, telling you guys today, like, I'm not accepting any more friendships that are like, I don't agree with what your what your lifestyle is, but I still love you. Like, that's not friendship to me, because I still feel like I can't tell you everything. And if I don't feel like I can be completely 100% open with you, and that means going, like, if I'm dating a girl and you still have that in the back of your head, like, I don't agree with your lifestyle, like, you're not really my friend. Because if you had the opportunity to vote against my love, you probably would vote against it because of your own kind of, like, disproportionate belief system of, like, this is not natural. And it's pretty great. And, like, Sicarra, you helped me as well, my very gay mother.
Sprinkle in all that.
She was like, Sicarra pushed me to, like, go out more. she pushed me to like, no, go talk to her, go flirt with her. I'm like, no, what if she's straight? And she's like, stop assuming.
Because honestly, I just think it's important to be that person for other people. And I think that's why I find a lot of, I don't know, just reward or love or community in telling my story to people, to actually lending support or a space for them to vent to me, and supporting my friends or just people I know. Like, you know, because I think it's important to have that visibility and be like, fine, I'll be the openly loud gay person, whatever. I'm just
inspiring
I'm not being a gay person, I'm being myself.
Yeah.
So I want more people to see that, because it's like not, we're going to get to a day where we don't even need to come out. We're just ourselves and we love who we love. And
that's
hey, mom, I'm dating this person. I come home from dinner. It's a girl. Who cares? Like, there's no conversation like that.
Yeah.
And Gabe helped too, actually. That's one thing I didn't mention. Gabe, like, when I told... Because he was one of the few people, besides you, of course, so when I told, like, oh, I like both, like, men and women, however, I'm open to everyone. I've just only been with men and women. And he's like, oh, okay, he's like, you know, he had said something about sexuality being, he's like, sexuality is kind of like fluid, and so are people, so like, you like whoever you like. And he's like, that's really good that you know yourself at such a young age. And I was like, oh my god, wisdom.
Nice. Yeah. So next, I'm thinking we'll do top 3 celeb crushes.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
Wait. Let me look at who I'm following.
Okay, wait. So when I was younger, I used to actually, this before I came out, but I was kind of like weird. I'm weird now. I'm still weird. Why am I saying was? But I had a list of celeb hot crushes.
Oh my god.
And this was, I had a guy list, because back then, you know, still kind of. And then I had a girl list. So I think like Sarah Shahi, Michelle Rodriguez, Rosario Dawson.
Oh my god, Michelle Rodriguez.
Fucking Lisa Bonet.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There's so many bays.
Wait, Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa together though?
Lisa Bonet, Jason Momoa,
if they came out with a
Lenny
sex
Kravitz,
tape, I could see that.
I know,
all of them were hot.
Stop. I want to see it too though. Like, I'm like looking.
Mine right now, I don't know.
This was the hardest question that you hit. Like when I
honestly, I didn't come prepared because I'm sure I have a whole.
So
you didn't look at your list.
I didn't look at my list.
Okay.
Odell Beckham is probably number 1.
Wow.
Wait, let me look it up.
I know, I got my Google out.
He's cute. I love
Odell
Beckham.
Maybe I should go to
He's cute. And he's totally shattering like that whole masculinity.
Oh, he's so cute. Look at his smile.
Yeah,
his eyes, like the side of his eyes droop down, and I love that.
I like August Alsina too.
Really? I don't know.
I have a big crush on him. And last
August who?
August Alsina is R&B.
He kind of disappeared for a minute though.
Oh, he has really good bone structure.
Evan Ross.
I want to draw him.
Ross's son. I would say Evan Ross. Yeah, those are my 3 right now.
Rihanna.
Celebrities.
Oh, Rihanna does.
No, I just like scroll past a picture of her. I love Rihanna, but my like celebrity crush right now is okay, so I used to. Oh my god, and this is another reason why I was like, I think I like girls. So it's she was in Dusk Till Dawn. She in the Netflix one, the new one with Wilmer Valderrama. She plays Santanico. Her name is Aiza Gonzalez, and she used to be in a shit ton of telenovelas when she was a teenager.
Wait, not the one with the meme. That's the meme?
No, this one.
Oh.
This one. Look.
Oh, damn.
This beautiful woman. And she's Mexican as well. She's
gorgeous.
amazing. So she used to be in those, and she has the like kind of husky, sexy like voice that I love.
Okay.
And like she used to be in these telenovelas, and you know how like the girls would moon over like the guys. I mooned over her. I watched every fucking telenovela that she was in, and I was like, oh my god. And like my mom would be like, Mija, like I don't want to watch that one anymore. Like we watch a different one. I'd be like, no, just to watch her. And then when I saw her as Santanico, I was like, and she got, because she was super skinny back then. Like she's skinny now, but she was like stick skinny back then. When she got on as Santanico and she like put on like more like weight and stuff, and like she curved out more, I was like, but yeah, she's my number 1 crush right now.
This is hard. I feel like I can't. I'm not
This is so hard. This was hard because like I don't consume that much like mainstream.
Well, just like I think about movies that I watched as a kid and who I was like, oh my god. I knew that I was queer when I used to watch Power Rangers, and I had a crush on Tommy. And what was the pink one? Kimberly. Yes. Yeah, Kimberly. I had a crush on both. And to be fair, I think Tommy was cute. He was pretty. He had long hair.
He's pretty.
Tommy was
he
was brown. Power Ranger.
He was the only brown ranger, pretty much. Yeah.
This is.
You
like,
had all
really,
this time.
This was like the hardest question. I was like thinking about like who.
How about
I
an
would
actor,
say.
a singer,
an actor?
and
I would
a sports
say
player or
an actor. Don't even judge me. I would say Idris Elba.
Oh my God! Yes.
Why would we judge that?
Why would we judge that? We agree.
I'm just making sure.
I'm Dill. Yes,
We agree.
Yeah.
And he has an English accent. Like
Yeah.
that's his actual like voice.
and his voice, the robot.
Singer, I would say Kehlani.
Oh yeah,
Janae Aiko. No, Janae Aiko.
Oh, yeah.
Janae Aiko.
I got to meet both of them.
Oh yeah.
That
Actually,
is
she's
Janae
still
Aiko is
with
bae.
Kehlani.
Janae Aiko is bae. Like that is life. If she married me, if she wanted to marry me tomorrow, I'd be down. Janae Aiko and Crim Bailey Ray.
Aw,
Oh,
Crim
Crim
Bailey,
Bailey.
the curly
Yeah,
hair.
I love Crim Bailey Ray.
My brother would piss me off because he'd always be singing that song around me because he would say like my hair looked like her hair. Shut the fuck up. Girl, put your records on.
Girl, put your records
I love that
on.
song.
Tell me your favorite song.
Just go
Let your head down.
Okay. And I don't know who else.
How about Zoe Saldana? I used to have a crush on her in Colombiana, and then she was a little problematic, but...
You know, shit, I used to think Sabrina Claudio was so fucking hot. And then she came
fuck.
out with that anti-black shit, and I was like, ooh, you are so ugly.
Yeah, she got to go. Cancel.
I was like...
Speaking of gay, favorite handling, go cancel.
Yeah, I'm like...
Okay, yeah, we can actually go right into that.
Oh,
Favorite
let's go to gay
gay
lingo. I found one out, which was beard.
Oh,
Is that
yeah,
that's gay
beard.
lingo, right?
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I'm awful at this. I'm like, I remember that because in high school, it was one high school classmate had told me like, he's like, I would have someone be my beard, but I already came out. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? You have a beard on your face already. And he was like, no. And he like explained to me what it was. And I was like, err.
Okay, I brought up some lingo. Chopstick lesbian. I used to identify as that, actually.
What's a chopstick lesbian?
So chopstick lesbian is kind of like a girl who's in between. No, she
No,
doesn't
yeah,
wear
it's something-
lipstick.
yeah.
Like lipstick
Yeah,
lesbians are
yeah.
femme presenting, very
Okay.
feminine. Chopstick's kind of like maybe tomboy, sporty, androgynous in between. And I used to roll between
That's
that, but-
you.
Yeah. I don't really identify as lesbian, but yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So I used to watch this guy way back in the day on YouTube. And I actually credit
Was
him
it
with
Kingsley?
being
Oh.
I actually credit him with being like one of the first people to do like interact like a vlog, you know, and just like do story time, like tell you like a story about what happened from this day, blah blah. His name was Kadir or something like that. I forget his last name.
I feel like I heard
But
it.
he used to always say this little catchphrase, "No tea, no shade."
Yeah.
And like I'm pretty sure he started that. Like that was the first place that I heard anyone say "No tea, no shade."
Oh, didn't you say
Huh?
that? Didn't Lamper say that?
No, he might not. I don't think.
Okay.
He
But
said
they're always.
shameless plug.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, what are you...
And I was like...
If y'all don't know him, I encourage you all to go look it up on YouTube. One of his most famous videos was like how he went to a McDonald's interview, and he talks about how he went to a McDonald's interview, and they were giving him all kind of fever. He says fever. They was giving me all kind of fever, like I'm talking scarlet fever. And yeah, he said no tea, no shade. So that's probably my favorite gay catchphrase. That and red for filth.
Red
Yeah.
Yes, actually that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Corey.
My favorite, my only favorite lingo or phrases, bitch, you tried it.
I hear you saying that.
Yeah. I
Fucking
love to
Lexi
say
today, don't
somebody
try
tried
it.
Like, I love to say bitch. That's one of my favorite
Yeah,
words.
bitch. There's
I
so
don't
many
know
ways,
why,
though.
just
Like,
so-
you know how on
I
different...
never said it in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, there's like
but-
different tones and it means a different thing. Like, bitch.
Yeah.
You gotta do the high bitch, the high bitch.
It depends on how you say it, really.
Or when you're incredulous, bitch.
We talking to partners.
I feel like... Oh, Kiki. You know, Kiki.
Yeah,
Kiki
I like
Palmer?
Kiki.
No, like
Kiki, no,
Kiki.
Kiki, like Kiki.
Kiki.
Oh, I thought
Kiki's
you...
like
I thought we went back to
conversating
celeb
or-
crushes. I'm like, oh, she's cute.
I do love Kiki Palmer.
She's
is great.
amazing.
I'm attracted to women, but only
I used to have a crush on
Platonic.
to think that they're
Cassie.
cute. I don't.
Oh, Cassie.
Me, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Her little dancer team.
I can't believe she's still with Diddy.
Oh, God.
That's
She
such a
is.
weird
That is so
relationship.
unfortunate.
I think
Because I
it's
used
the
to be in
money,
love with
but-
her.
Poor unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Poor.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so we actually are almost done. So, And it will be under an hour. Good. So, the next topic is suffered from the straight friend curse.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go first and explain this. So that
He's like,
knows.
actually.
And I want to get it over with so I can listen instead of talking.
Okay.
I suffer from the straight friend curse a lot as a gay person. For one, because I don't have a lot of gay friends, for one. I don't have a lot of straight friends either, but the few, I know, right? No. But the few straight friends that I do have, they end up being super nice to me, which I'm not used to.
Yeah.
I'm more used to not even talking to straight dudes because they're homophobic, and I don't want to give them the opportunity to be homophobic towards me. Because I'm a Sagittarius, and I feel like the beast, the half man and the half beast is hard to control sometimes. So, yeah, I suffer from this a lot. Because, like I said, they always end up being, like, super nice people, and I'm not used to that, so I, like, fall for them, and I know I'm not supposed to, and that's something that I should have learned, like, as a teenager, and I thought I did, but, yeah, it's hard sometimes. You just kind of just, like, feel like you just wish that there was more there, or you're like, damn, why couldn't this be more than just, like, a cool friend or a buddy or whatever, but...
You're like...
Yeah. I think I'm, like, finally now learning the lesson, like, literally today, that I cannot...
Keep doing it, too.
Yeah, keep doing that to myself. It's my own fault. It's not anyone else's fault but mine, but...
That's true.
Also,
but it's hard, though. You can't,
exactly.
like, your heart does what the fuck it wants to do. That's the problem.
And I'm gonna say, also, I've given that some thought, too, because I've thought about, like, why do I even, like, what... Like, in the past, I don't really do that anymore, but... It's just, like, I would think, why am I doing this? Because it's almost, like, self-sabotage. Or it's, like, you're doing it so you don't have to try with anyone real. That's, like, even a bigger fear. You know, these are intangible people. It's not going to happen. But
That hasn't been my experience.
Damn.
This just hasn't been my experience. So this has happened to me, like, 3 different times throughout my life. And like each time, like that person ended up being like, I don't know, like I don't want to sound like fucking gay to use the term pejoratively, but yeah, it was like I would consider those people, like if I had to look back and say, oh, that was the love of my life, like these people were people that I would probably name. Like I literally have a tattoo on my arm because of one of these people. That was like the first one in high school. He's this little Muslim boy from Kuwait or whatever, and like I just have this weird thing for like, because I'm such a dominant, swaggy personality. Not to toot my own horn, I know I'm a Leo, but like for some reason, like I just like I like people who are like not as like swaggy and like a little nerdy and a little unsure of themselves and like timid and a little bit more like less fiery, because I'm like a lot of fire. Like I don't need more fire for like fire my fire. Like sometimes I need a little bit of, you know, something to douse it a little bit, or like just like to balance me out. And that's like kind of what he was. Like I said, not to bore you with the story, but you know, we went through this whole thing for so long, and like to the point that I actually got something tattooed on me because of this person.
What does it say?
It says inshallah, which is something that he told me about because he was Muslim.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, this means God willing, and like it just like, really struck a chord with me, and so I got a tattoo. I was gonna get a tattoo regardless of him, but like I would be lying to myself if I didn't say like it wasn't because he told me. And so yeah, I got that. Then in college there was another guy. I'm not gonna say no names, but this one was probably like the peak for me, because it's kind of sent me into like a destructive, like a self-destructive spiral, where I kind of was just like that, like basically my Issa Rae rotation, like after like when it wasn't going, because one, I believe he's queer too, which because we've gotten drunk and done things or whatever. Exactly. We've gotten drunk and like things have happened. But yeah, like he just never was. He's like Catholic. He was just never able to like come to terms and like really like let things happen the way they should. And so like in order to kind of fill the void that I wasn't like getting like with him, I was trying to like just go like do whatever. So like I downloaded Grindr, like I shit like that, and like going out and like hooking up with random people, and like I like after doing this for so long, I was like, this is not like, it's not doing shit for me. Like yeah, like it like I'm like I can have sex with whoever I want to, and like yeah, I've like had like fulfilled some of my fantasies sexually, but like it doesn't mean shit at the end of the day, because like these people are just attractive to me sexually, but not like emotionally and like and on a deeper level. So the sex is just not as good. And there's no emotional connection afterwards. It's like, okay, cool, that was great. See you never. Like,
you don't even have their numbers.
Yeah,
block them on the app.
People like, and then like the worst is when you ghost somebody and they text you like 3 months later, like, hey, like, so, and it's just like, ooh, I don't know why you texted me because you knew that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that happened, and then another one happened right after that. And it's just like, I feel like now, the third time's a charm, I feel like I finally learned my lesson. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I have, though, because, like, my heart is, like, fickle, and it does what the fuck it wants to do. And it likes who the fuck it wants to like regardless of how much I'm, like, sitting there, like, please don't like this person. Like, you know that this is not good for you. Exactly. And my heart's still like, bitch, I don't care.
Basically. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I feel like I'm lucky. It's like, I've just, and again, coming into my sexuality, it would be like my friends that I would think were straight ended up having crushes on me, and like I would just kind of like end up either not reciprocating because I'm like, that's not my type, or I would end up reciprocating because I was like, oh yeah, you're cute. But it hasn't, like, I feel like I've just been, it's probably gonna happen, but I feel like I've just been lucky because like I kind of don't really approach a lot of women or have really much, like, long-lasting crushes on women unless they explicitly, like, express, like, that they express, like, interest. Mm-hmm. Like, I've gotten my heart broken, but, like, she is for sure gay, but I haven't gone through that yet.
I feel like for me too, like, I guess I didn't really, like, answer that question, but I don't think I've really suffered too much from the straight friend curse necessarily, but it's more like girls who might be bi or like whatever and lead me on this fucking ride. Like,
that's the thing, like, do they enjoy
like,
the attention?
I think so, but in my experience it's like, yeah, kind of like you know, a game, or they like the attention or something. But there was this one girl I remember in community college before I moved out here in San Diego, and I was still kind of, like I said, not out till I was 21. But that year I had came out, and I met her at a time where I was kind of ending something with my first girlfriend ever. And then I met her. But she also had a boyfriend when I met her, and I had a girlfriend. And then it was just like, we ended up meeting again a couple years later. And she invited me to a bar, and I got all excited. I'm like, oh, maybe she likes me. You know, I was like getting all anticipated, and I go, and she's with 2 guys. And so this is the sick part. She kind of, I think, just invited it to be kind of like a game of like who's gonna flirt with her more and shit. And I wasn't into it at all. And luckily, as a backup plan, I invited 2 of my friends. So I was like, yay!
Like, bitch, guess what?
And I knew they were gonna have my back because you know, whatever. And so I called them up. They came over, and so she's like sitting here. I'm sitting next to her. She has her 2 friends on the left side of her, and I have my 2 friends on the right side. And I'm just conversating with them because I just hear all this flirting and shit. I'm like, why am I here? Because she totally made it seem like a thing like that.
Yeah.
And so then whatever happened, you know, I was kind of over it, and I was like, I'll just have a good time here. And then it was getting to the point where, like, you know, we were finishing our drinks, getting ready to leave, and she's like, oh, hey, can you come to the bathroom with me? Of course. So I went, and then she was like, you know, I've always kind of thought about kissing you, but at the time, you had a girlfriend, and like, blah, blah, blah. And there was obviously some attraction there, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, why am I here?
Like, I'm over it now.
And she's like, well, obviously I want you to kiss me. So I'm like, oh, okay. I was so thrown off. And so pretty much after that, we did meet again, and I was like, okay, maybe this will be a thing. And then she totally was like, oh, yeah, actually, I know I invited you over here to sleep over, but we probably shouldn't, because I don't know if I like. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we were in her bed, her dog's right here, in between us, and I'm sitting there awkwardly wide awake at night, like, why the fuck did I come here? But this is kind of like, if I can just share this with you guys really quick, I wrote a little poem about this. I don't really want to. I don't think I want to read the whole thing. It's not that long, but I'll just read the last stanza. Anticipation, electricity in the air, a step forward, an answer to your question, hands a gentle grip, a pull closer, a dive into the mystery of it all. A sweet hello, soft lips meeting for the first time, a rhythm builds, our lips dance, breaking apart only to share mirrored smiles. A stolen moment, though it felt like something special. But maybe that's all we're allowed, our stolen moments, in a world where time never waits, where things change, and moments like these fade. Yeah. So I think I found a lot of outlet in writing that's helped me through like this journey too.
Yep.
You're good at it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Writing definitely helps. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so one last topic. I'm gonna go with dating. How do you view dating in the gay community? And I'm gonna go.
Yeah. He's like, we're gonna leave the fun.
I love to listen more than talk. So
Abstain. That's how I do it.
Abstain.
I don't have a good view of dating in the gay community.
Same.
Because I've only really had one boyfriend that I could say that I've dated. And we, like, had titles. I've had fun, obviously, but a relationship only one. It was cool, but it wasn't what I wanted as far as, like, honesty, someone who's going to be honest. Someone who can not have dating apps and not text other people and think that texting other people is not cheating.
I had an ex who had a dating app while we were a year and a half deep and got a text at 1:30 in the morning from some bitch named Valerie.
Exactly.
And I'm like, who the
Valerie?
fuck is Valerie?
Yeah,
Valerie, if you're listening to this, you a bitch.
We're just friends.
So yeah, I don't have a good view of it. To the point where I actually feel like I don't know how to date now. Like I'm not even like the type to make the first move because like I've had so many negative experiences. Yeah, so I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, am I gonna be alone
for the rest of
my life because
Same.
I'm not gonna make the first move and deal with people's bullshit. So yeah, I don't see it really good. Like, not even dating, sometimes even like making friends in the gay community seems hard.
Yeah.
Not even, well, I can make plenty of lesbian friends, but the men, like,
yeah,
it's hard and it like sucks sometimes with like making friends and stuff like that. But
it's hard.
I'm hoping things change. That's all you can really do. And like try to put myself out there in different circles and stuff like that, basically.
I think you're doing great.
No.
I know.
You got us here.
Yeah. I
We're
mean,
in the same team, too.
Uber's really good for that aspect
Shameless
of it.
plug.
Just like,
I know, shameless plug.
yeah, no, seriously. Just making friends in the gay community. Because, like, I never, like, again, I was just like, yeah, I never thought I was going to have friends in the gay community. And it was like, oh, wait, no, I met Lyndon, then I met Gabe, then I met, like, all the other people there. And I was like, oh, like, I got a little tribe that I could call up and be like, hey, what's going on?
Gabe, once you hear this, we love you. Thank you.
Come to Pride.
Come to Pride, Gabe.
So, yeah, it's just about, like, nurturing those relationships, I think. In terms of gating.
Gating?
Can we coin this?
I know. We can gating. Let's call gating.
In terms of gating, yeah, no, I feel like I'm in the exact same boat, especially because I'm the type of person who, like, I'm a hard nut to crack. In multiple ways.
Sicarra, took you a minute.
I did. I was like, wait. Oh,
I got it right away.
Sorry.
Yeah, and multiple ways. I just have a lot of layers. And I have a lot of walls emotionally. And I don't like being vulnerable. Like, that's like one of the scariest things for me.
You like or you don't like?
I don't like being vulnerable at all. Especially emotionally. Like, I'm just like, I'm not that person. Like, my family's always hyped me up as the person who's like the strong one, who's gonna win, who's gonna do all the, and that's who I've been. Like, that's who I've tried to be my whole life. So like when it comes to dating, like, it's really hard for me to like let people in and like let people pass. Like, you gotta fucking run a goddamn obstacle course, bitch, to get through to my emotions. And like once you get there, like, you're not just getting out like that. Like, it ain't just not like,
you in there for a long time.
Like, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, like you didn't did all of this, you didn't jump through all these hoops, and you finally got there, and now like you're not gonna just like do me like that. And so that's why it's super hard for me. So like I really need to be like friends with the person. Like, you need to like you basically sneak in behind like my guard. You know what I'm saying? Like you become friends with me, and then like before I know it, I'm like, oh shit, like, where did these feelings for you come from? You know, versus like that's why dating is so hard, because it's like you like meet somebody on an app or something, and you go out with the pretense of like we're about to talk and like try to get to know each other and try to get through. And I'm like, if the pretense is there and it's like, oh, we're gonna talk and like do all these things, it's like I'm like,
because it's like the expectation.
Exactly. I'm like, no matter how great this date goes, you're never gonna get there.
To be honest, I find the same thing, because I did try a dating app in college. I didn't come out till I was 21, and even when I did, I still didn't date because I was scared. And you know, like I had only had 2 boyfriends before that in high school. different life. Yeah, but you know, I
When
knew
it was a straight.
I knew that it wasn't what I wanted. It's the role I thought I was supposed to play. So I guess in terms of dating, I've only had 2 female partners. You know, like I do believe that maybe both of them were like, you know, trans but didn't really know. I know that one is transitioning now from what I've heard. Like I don't really have contact with my exes, but like other people I've dated, the one after even had more experiences like that. So it's just hard because I feel like a lot of those toxic, misogynistic kind of, you know, values are instilled in a lot of people's heads, whether you're homosexual, heterosexual, anywhere on the spectrum, but because the queer community is very much so smaller and we have more limited safe spaces or places to go, it makes it hard today. It makes it hard to even, like, be involved in your community. Like, in college, I stayed away from the LGBT center because there was so much toxicity in terms of previous partners or other people fucking other people and lying and doing this to do that. And I find that really disgusting and, like, really disheartening. Because it's like what you said, the fact that we're even sitting in this room talking about like, hey, I didn't get to come out till I was this age, and when I did, then I had to go back into my shell because people hurt me. Like I've had really toxic relationships. I just got out of one, and I'm still in recovery, and it takes a lot. And I think it's okay to recognize that, like, yeah, like Aaron said, you have to have boundaries. Like I might not be the Great Wall of China, really, like, you know, but everyone's different, and that's what I'm saying. People respond differently to traumas, to our environment. But I think it's very difficult, and I would like to see more stuff like this and people having these conversations because we have to unlearn this shit. And especially if we're gonna hold spaces and have spaces like this, like. I don't understand the disconnect sometimes. And being a woman who's primarily dated other women and has been treated like terribly by other women, I'm like, how do you do this to each other? Like there's so many layers involved that'd probably be another topic. But
I feel like it's so
difficult.
new.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Though. I think that people underestimate how new this experience is that we're all having because like it wasn't cool to come out as gay like 50 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like I think that
it was
like
illegal at one point.
Yeah, like I feel like what we're experiencing now is like we're pioneering like what a gay relationship looks like going forward because like we're like the new we're like a new generation of people who have finally accepted sexuality.
I think underlying I totally get that. I just think like there's underlying truth of just treating people with respect and care, regardless if you don't love someone or whatever. There's levels of respect you can have even if you're just fucking someone or whatever, and I don't think that's translating well in today's society.
Especially now with millennials.
It's a very egotistical kind of thing, and I have really bad experiences with dating apps, so I don't use them because of safety. I don't use them because of fetishization. I don't use them because of it's not what I want. And I feel like it's not to shade all dating apps, I just feel like it's really disingenuous, it's fetishy, and there's racism, there's so many layers in there, so that's my experience. But
yeah, mine is like dealing along the lines of more like almost, even though I don't identify as bi, like I said that word bi. I don't, even though I don't identify as bi, a lot of like biphobia because
God, yeah.
Like because it's just like it's hard for people to believe that I feel the same way, and like I've had enough time to experiment to fucking find out if I did. Like, I've had enough time to experiment to find out that definitely I fucking like girls. I actually do. So like I remember
that's the biggest backlash. People saying, "Are you sure?"
Yeah,
really?
Somebody just asked me that Uber
I just brought the
recently, and I was like,
courage
"Yes, bitch."
Yeah, like I gave you. I roll like no, and then the thing is, because like that's why it took me so like I feel like I would have came out in high school even if my mom would have not accepted me at first had I not been so confused. Like I was sure of my feelings, but people were confusing me because they're like, "Are you sure? Are you positive?" I think no, you're just either doing it for attention or you just want to experiment or you just want to do that. And it's like, no, I'm pretty sure. So like I face the issues of like especially women, and I understand because sometimes like some of the women that I'll see or that I'll date very, very briefly have like the insecurities of like, no, you still have that attraction towards men. And if we're out at a bar, sometimes this happened once in college when I was out. We weren't at a bar, we were at a club in Hollywood, and I was flirting with a girl and we were having a good time. And like I went to the bar and like this guy was talking to me, and I'm drunk and I'm social. Also, I'm single. Like I'm gonna talk to whoever the fuck I want to talk. But she's like, oh, see, I knew, like, you just, like, and she got mad at me. She was like, oh, this is at Tiger Heat. Oh my God, this is at Tiger Heat. She was like, she was just so mad. She was like, this is why I don't like bitches like you. Like, you guys just do this shit to play with people. And I was like,
probably coming from a place that maybe she got hurt.
Yeah, that's what. So I was like, at the time, I was like,
speaking of guy, go snatch.
I was like,
Aaron's like,
I was like, fucking get out of here, because I was just like,
yeah,
just
fuck this.
yeah, and like, and I still face that sometimes when it's like, because it's like I guess I don't present as a lot of people assume that I'm just straight until I like openly just talk about. Like, oh my God, this girl's, like, pretty hot. Like, I want to see her. I want to, like, talk to her and stuff.
Trust me.
Like, that's when people are like, what the fuck, Amber? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't give a shit. But
I tell people at Uber, and to this day, they still like, are you sure you're
Yeah, I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, yeah. Do you want me to change it up? Like, and it's just, yeah, it, like, so that's the troubles that I face. And even more so, like, yeah, actually, those are the only troubles that I face, is just, like, constantly being questioned, being asked if I'm sure, or like, because I still have that same attraction to like men, it's like, well, I don't think that you are, or like, it's that kind of like biphobia, which really sucks. I'm just like, yeah, I'm attracted to all genders, and like, I just only have been with men and women, like I said. But that's,
I will say that I am, I don't mean to cut you off, but I will say that I'm actually like probably less attracted to girls right now. Just because I spent most of my life dating girls. Yeah. And so, like, I felt like there's a whole part of myself sexually that I haven't explored fully.
Yeah.
And, like, I just feel like I'm at this point now where it's like, I want to see what that's like emotionally. Like, I want to be, like, with a guy and, like, see what that's like. So I think I'm now, like, if I had to, like, put myself in, like, if I had to give myself percentages, I'd probably say I'm, like, 80%, 20. Like, 80 gay, 20 right now. Like, just, like, I just want to date a guy and see what that is like. And then after that, then we can go back to being just, like, honestly, the happy little 50-50 guy.
The biggest thing for me, and I hear this in, like, our whole podcast and a lot of times just in my thoughts and talking to other queer people, is the whole, like, categorization, and, you know, there's new terms emerging every day, and it's like, gay was always a thing, trans was always a thing, all these things were a thing before there was a name for it. So I really think that, you know, we should just operate under the assumption that people are on the spectrum and constantly figuring themselves out. So fluidity is, like, key, and I don't, even though, you know, when I was in high school, I was like, I'm straight. Okay, that changed. Like, I experienced something else that caused me to think this, and now I'm gonna try this, and then, you know, but I feel that a lot of times we internalize and we pressure ourselves to meet a timeline or be like, you know, even hearing you guys talk, like, I'm not trying to say I'm more advanced or whatever, but the experience and coming, just the experience and coming out to my family and being more like, you know what, I'm okay and grounded in that now, and regardless of where I end up, if I get married or not, it does not matter. Like, I'm the one who has to live with me in this body, and whether you exit or enter my life, like, I'm still gonna be here, so I have to be okay with this and this, like, my heart and my head, that has to be in alignment, and that's key to me. That's priority, and like, I think a lot of queer people need to, like, really understand that, you know, because it's hard when you think that your life is based on an expectation of what society or parents or even other partners. Like, I've had partners shame me for my previous sexual history, and it's like, it took me that to get here. And I'm not going to shame you for it, but it's like, I don't know. I think going forward, if people really try to separate their own bias and perspectives from, like, someone else's experience and just, like, fucking listen, we probably wouldn't have as many issues as we have.
And it probably wouldn't take some of us so long to, like, actually fully accept and come out. Just, like, and just being, scared. Like, just, even now, like, now I'm starting to not care if I post online, and if, like, because, like, some of, like, my brother's friends, I mean, my brother's not going to react a negative way anyways. He just probably will be like, I wish you would have told me instead of my friends telling me on the internet that they heard this or saw this, so I need to tell him. Like, that's what he, that's, like, that's what he would,
like, a sibling,
like, but my brother, like, like, I would prefer him to be mad at that than me actually being queer, because, like, that's his thing. He's like, I would prefer for you to tell me than me find out for a different source, so I actually do have to come out to him pretty soon.
He'll be
but
okay.
thank you guys, but, like, it just, it took so, like, I know, like, I'm pretty young, I'm 23, but, like, I've known about this about myself for years, but,
I think
like...
I've known since I was 5.
I'm pretty sure I've known since I was, like...
Same.
Like,
dude, I remember I was sitting on a
like...
table, like, the little, you know, the little baby, not baby, but the little kid tables, like, kitchen tables, outside in the front, and, like, I was playing with, like, my, like, the neighbors, like, friends, like, female friends, and, like, we were playing around, and then we just pecked each other, and I was like,
so innocent.
I was like, oh my god! And, like, looking around, I was like,
I think that's
that
so
feels
funny,
so
though, like,
weird.
that, like, when, especially because this was a question that we haven't addressed, though, is get a choice. I'm like, I don't think it is, though, because honestly, when I was a kid, I was, like, before I even knew what self-identity was, like, I, like, knew that I was like, ooh, I kind of like the little name, like, and, like, we would, like, play house and shit, and, like, not, I mean, obviously we're kids, so, like, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but, like, we would, like, do things, and, like, I was like, maybe you're gonna grow out of this, but I'm never gonna grow out of this.
Yeah, it's like, this feels, I feel like it's a choice in the sense of you choose how you want to deal with your identity.
I don't even like that question though, because like straight people just assume that their sexuality wasn't a choice. So I'm like, when did you choose to be straight?
I'd like to take that question and just say ignorance is a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, I could judge you for smoking, having tattoos, like. It's all your own perspective and buying it. Like
cocaine.
Yeah. That's literally all it is. So to say that is a choice, to say people willingly invite violence and fear and like questioning who the fuck they are and depression and crying and everything that comes with that is stupid. So like anyone who thinks that we're choosing to be this way, like I don't even have time to talk to you.
Like this has always been me.
Like why would I choose depression and like social rejection?
Why would I choose potentially losing my family and being scared to tell them this? Like why? That's not a choice. Like and it's
so choose to educate yourself.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, I also thought of my last celebrity crush, Bennett from Orange Is the New Black.
Who?
Oh, Officer Bennett.
Yeah.
With the
leg.
Oh my God, he's in How to Make a Murder. That's Matt McCory. Matt
McCory, something like that.
Dude, he's a pretty.
That's Bay.
He's an advocate.
Matt McBay.
But he's an advocate. He marches and fights for Black Lives Matter. He used to silence women of color.
Just making him sexier.
But he used to be sexier. But dude, he does a lot.
And he's really weird friends with Samir Wiley, the girl who played Poussey.
Oh
my God. Oh my God, Poussey. She's the only actually other celebrity crush. Hello.
R.I.P. Poussey.
I'm sad that she died.
I'm sorry, was this one? Did we talk about that?
Is it so hard to be
gay? We kind of touched on it.
Yeah.
Is it still hard to be gay in today's society?
I would say, kind of, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Like just
definitely.
to feel safe in certain spaces. Like, I like to go out to a lot of arts, culture center events, and I do like to dance. So the dancing portion is where I get a little uncomfortable because I've literally been grabbed, like, all my private parts and stuff by guys at the club who thought it was funny.
Men are fucking trash.
Because I'm dancing with another woman or my friends, and it doesn't have to be like a sexual thing. But when you're sexualizing me and I'm telling you no, because it's a game to you or something, like that's stupid. And it's really like I almost got in a fight at the club and like probably arrested.
My roommate pulled her away. My roommate pulled her away because she was about to fight these dudes that were coming up to her, and I was like,
so I would say in terms of safe spaces and stuff, it is hard. I know other people who maybe are trans or they're more male presenting, but they identify as trans. Like it can be very dangerous. I worked at I used to work at the Los Angeles LGBT Center for like almost a year as a youth advocate, so that job really, I feel like, ignited just the fact that we need more activism, we need more voices, we need people being kind of like mentors or, I guess, confidants for like younger people who are growing up in this generation, because there's very real dangers like sex trafficking here in Hollywood. I know former clients I worked with who do that, and it's like that's the only way they can survive. And it's like it's changed my views on sex work, on LGBTQ people, and just
no, definitely.
I would say,
but it's better.
It's better, but
in terms of being able to voice ourselves.
That today's society is too broad. I would say that it's a lot easier to be gay in Los Angeles.
Yes.
certain places is
then
yeah,
like, cause like you go be gay in Uganda and you can get your fucking head chopped off,
or even in the South.
It's like some places in America, like you go be gay there, and it's like it's a whole different story. Like
Wind up
I
in
know
a river,
that's why. I mean, honestly, that's why places like metropolitan cities like Dallas and LA and Chicago, places with boys towns and stuff like that, they have so many gay people, like gay transplants, because it's like these people are like, I'm from Tennessee, but like I couldn't be gay in Tennessee, like I had to come.
I had youth that would get off, call me on the phone from like Oklahoma and be like, hey, I bought a bus ticket, I'm gonna be there in 2 days, can you help me, like I'm gonna be on the street, and it's like they have nowhere else to go.
Because this
like,
is
I think we kind of take for
space
granted like that we live
our
in
realities
LA, where
in
it's like
certain areas
so much different here,
I
because like even like not just like we live like you have to be in like metropolitan LA, because even if you go to like outskirts of LA, like Bakersfield and like places like that, like it's more
people
like the South there. If you're like walking down the street with your boyfriend in Bakersfield, like you're gonna get looks as if you were in the fucking deep South. So I think we can't take for granted that we live in a city that's super accepting.
Well, and I agree with, sorry to cut you off, but like going off on Sicarra, like being as it's so hard to be gay in today's society, like I remember, like, if I go out with a girl, one girl that I saw very briefly in January, we couldn't really be, like, super touchy. Or actually last year. Last year with an old friend of mine, we had gone out to one of our other friends' birthday party thing, and, like, I couldn't really, like, touch her or do anything like super like quote unquote gay with her.
I hate this. I'm going to a wedding next year for a best friend, and her family is predominantly like a little homophobic. So I'm already having to question what I'm gonna wear. And like the thing is too, like, okay, I couldn't like really do much because there were like creeps like getting fucking turned on by it, and it's like God.
And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm not doing this for your fucking pleasure. And like that's what makes me not want to be openly. It's just because I don't want to deal with it. Like, I don't want to deal with being harassed.
It's annoying. It's like, I hate that sometimes as queer women, or even just being women, we have to present hard. And don't fuck with me. And it's like, that's not my natural demeanor. I don't want to have a bitch face and have you tell me, why aren't you smiling? You getting creepy and telling me you want to be in a threesome with me and the person I'm dating.
You can I barely, like, you probably don't even have enough stamina for one person, let alone two. Shut the fuck up. Fucking one pump chump. Okay, all right, you go ahead, get flaccid in 2 seconds because you're overwhelmed. It's okay, sweetie. We'll wait.
I went on a date with this. I like went on a date with a guy that I met on an app, and like he was like, "Oh, where do you want to go?" And like I was suggesting all these like queer you know, queer places like. I was like, oh, let's go here. He's like, oh no, let's go to Wood Ranch. And I was like,
what?
What's like you mean like where like straight people go?
Why
do we do that? And I was like so fucking hung up on this for a little long. Like the whole time leading up to that, I was like, oh my god, we're gonna fucking Wood Ranch. Like, I'm gonna be there. Like, and like I'm like, how am I gonna be like I'm gonna sit across from each other and like be like, hey, what's up, dude?
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Yeah, I was like, what's up, bro? It ended up being really cool. Like I realized once we got there, like it was almost like tunnel vision. Like I mean, like no one else even mattered at that point because he was so cool. And we just like started talking. So that it ended up working out. But like I was freaking out the whole time. I was like, no, we need to go to a gay bar. Like we need to go to a gay bar.
So then we can be gay.
Like we can be like hella gay.
See, that's the thing. It's like having to shrink ourselves or accommodate to make other people not feel uncomfortable when our whole lives we've literally been uncomfortable in our own skin, and that's really deep. Like
okay.
Hey.
To finish it off, I would say yes and no. I agree with everybody. It depends on the space, and like you said, we shouldn't have to feel like, for instance, when I first started at Uber, I was super quiet. Even though like I knew like there were a few sisters in the office, I'm like, I'm just worried about me right now. So like, as I slowly started to like become friends with people, then I'm just like, okay, it's cool to like kind of come out of your shell a little bit. But yeah, I think it depends on the space. Like I feel most comfortable with when I'm around gay people. Like if I go to a bar or a club and it's not a gay club, like I still have fun, but in the back of my mind I'm like, okay, who might be looking
Sense of
side-eyeing
danger.
me.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
You gotta
what
be
the
on
fuck
that.
is this dude doing?
I can't learn.
You know, so.
And
It's
that,
that you can
honestly
relax.
too, like I will,
Like-
I just like also kind of want to address like cis privilege because like I totally like benefit from cis privilege. Like
Same.
I like if I go out to a bar, like you're not gonna just assume that I'm gay.
Yep.
Like even if like even in the office, like even after I've told hundreds of people like in the office, like no, like people still like, oh, I didn't know. And it's just like, yeah, girl, like
That's like in terms of going
Same
out
here.
as a
Yeah.
unit with other queer friends and stuff. I have friends that are trans or more, butch presenting or whatever, and I feel a lot of times like I identify as non-binary and like I don't. I switch, I toggle between whatever, but, going out, it's like if I'm with another friend and it's like, girls get in free before this, and then they're like, dressed a certain way, it's like, we have to worry about, are they getting in? What's gonna happen?
Yeah. Like, I don't know
What's
what the
issues?
bouncer's gonna identify you as. Like, nah, you're not one that a guy would want to sleep with, so $5, please. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And on the opposite end, too, like, this is, like, really, like, kind of sucks to even admit it, but... I've been in the situation where I've had, like, okay, like, at work, in workspaces, I know that I'm openly queer, but by association, I feel like a lot of times my friends might be considered queer, or maybe they're not, and then also rumors and stuff like that, and I actually feel bad, like, I'm the cause of this, I don't want to ruin your life, like, I don't want people thinking certain things about you, and I've had friends being like, whoa, chill the fuck out, like, I don't give a fuck.
I've told you that shit.
Because I've had other friends who don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's hard to be yourself.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like how much of my experience is like me kind of trying to hide myself so I don't negatively affect other people or kind of have some traumatic experience.
Yeah.
It's
And
that shouldn't even be a thing.
It
but
shouldn't.
it's totally a thing,
Yeah.
though. Because like when I go out, like I mean, you'll probably say that Pride. Like when I go out and like I get into like a very gay space, like
I still have to boomerang
honestly,
my shit turns on. Like I was like,
I saw when we were like leaving work today and we're getting ready to go to like our thing after work, like. I saw you walking and just like switching your hip around the corner. I was like, okay, Aaron. I was like, wait, who is that? Oh, that's
look, to go back to bring this full this bitch 360. I am a Gemini. I got Gemini in my natal chart. I got Gemini in my natal chart. And so like I genuinely feel like this is no bullshit. I don't want to sound crazy. But I genuinely feel like I have two different people inside of me. Because, like, there is one person... There's one person... One of my twins is very fucking straight. One of my twins is very, like... I love sports, like, oh, I'm about to, like, I fucking love rap, yo, whatever, like, blah, blah, like, shorty over there, she's fine, and there's one twin that is a fucking queen, bitch, like, she be out there, like, hey, girl, how you doing, bitch, and, like, it just depends on the day, like, who you gonna get, like, it depends on the circumstance and, like, the space, like, if the space seems like it's safe for that twin to like kind of show herself, she comes out. I'm not calling her she. I don't know if she's a she, but like she comes out.
Sometimes I feel like I have like this teenage boy like awkward like I have this little crush on them, talk to them kind of thing. And then other times I'm like no, like I'm super grounded, I'm outspoken, I'm confident, I'm gonna speak up on this. So it's like you ovulate between the two.
I remember me like when I was like switching up like my style a little bit, like in Sicarra would see me like, damn bitch, you look more like lesbian biker bae, like
like running joke with her.
I know, because like there was times because
if you're a lesbian in LA, you need a leather jacket.
I know.
Her leather jacket. I'm like, okay, upgrade.
Can we all go out to like a fucking like a bar one day?
Okay, so next podcast we'll talk about.
Next podcast we're gonna
end this actually.
So, you were like 1 hour. It's an hour and 22.
I know,
Editing. You can edit
I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna edit some of it. I guess we went over all the good topics.
We did.
So I'm just like just so that I can
times.
actually have a formal ending. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
It's super cool to like have people to chat with.
This tequila been hitting me
super
fun.
fun.
Maybe we should walk around.
Tequila and tacos.
Tequila and tacos.
Tawcos on a Thursday.
Tawcos.
Hey, it's Taco Thursday.
Taco Thursday.
Okay. It's gonna be a running like
Taco Thursday
tradition that like have tacos and tequila if you come on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
But
I think you should be running.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Anytime.